This creature is a force more powerful than evil. Its desire.
Nosferatu is a German silent horror film directed by F.W. Murnau, widely regarded as one of the most influential films in the history of cinema. Released in 1922, it is a loose adaptation of Bram Stoker's classic novel Dracula, although many of the characters' names and certain plot details were altered to avoid copyright issues. The film's eerie atmosphere and chilling portrayal of the vampire Count Orlok, played by Max Schreck, set the template for many future horror films. The film is a defining example of German Expressionism, a movement known for its dramatic use of lighting, shadows, and distorted sets to create an unsettling atmosphere. Though Nosferatu faced legal issues upon its release due to its similarities to Dracula, it has since become an iconic piece of film history. Its portrayal of the vampire as a grotesque, monstrous figure, vastly different from the suave and charismatic Dracula, has left an indelible mark on horror cinema, influencing films, literature, and popular culture for decades to come. Plot details. The story of Nosferatu follows Hutter, a young man who works as a real estate agent in the town of Visborg. He is sent to the remote Carpathian Mountains to assist a mysterious nobleman, Count Orlok, in purchasing a house in the town. Upon arriving at Orlok's eerie castle, Hutter begins to notice strange behavior from the Count, who is pale, with sharp, rat-like teeth, long fingers, and a menacing demeanor. The Count reveals himself to be a vampire, and Hutter soon realizes that he has fallen into a deadly trap. While Hutter remains trapped in the castle, Orlok embarks on a journey to Visborg, bringing with him death and disease. He is drawn to Hutter's wife, Ellen, whose beauty captivates him. Orlok plans to drain her blood and claim her as his own. Back in Visborg, Hutter's friend Nock, who has been behaving strangely, begins to act as Orlok's servant, further aiding the Count in his mission. In a climactic and sacrificial twist, Ellen, who has been reading a book on vampires, realizes that the vampire can only be defeated by the self-sacrifice of a pure woman. She lures Count Orlok into her room, allowing him to bite her and drink her blood until dawn, when the sunlight destroys the vampire. With Orlok's death, the plague that he brought to the town is lifted, but Ellen dies in the process. Cast: Max Schreck as Count Orlok. Schreck's portrayal of Orlok is considered one of the most terrifying and memorable performances in cinematic history. His portrayal of the vampire with sharp, rat-like teeth and disturbing body language has become a cornerstone of the horror genre. Gustav von Wangenheim as Hutter, the young protagonist, Hutter, who is sent to Orlok's castle and discovers the vampire's deadly secrets. Greta Schroeder as Ellen, Hutter's wife, whose beauty is what draws Count Orlok to her, and who ultimately sacrifices herself to rid the world of the vampire. Ruth Landshoff as Nina, Ellen's friend who helps uncover the vampire's secrets. Alexander Granich as Nock, a mysterious character who acts as Count Orlok's servant and is eventually revealed to have a connection to the vampire. Release date: Nosferatu was first released on March 4th, 1922, in Germany. The film's initial success was followed by controversy, as it faced legal action from the estate of Bram Stoker, who argued that Nosferatu was an unauthorized adaptation of his work Dracula. As a result, a court order was issued for the destruction of all copies of the film. Fortunately, some copies survived, and the film was rediscovered and restored over the years. Despite its rocky start, Nosferatu has become a revered classic and is regarded as one of the greatest films of all time, particularly within the horror genre. The film is considered a pioneer in the use of visual storytelling and continues to influence filmmakers and horror fans around the world. Trailer information. While Nosferatu was released during the silent film era, it did not have a modern-day trailer as we know them today. Instead, promotional material consisted of posters, stills, and occasional live performances to accompany the film. The film's iconic imagery, such as the towering silhouette of Count Orlok and his monstrous face, quickly became a symbol of fear in the public eye. Many later restorations of Nosferatu have included new musical scores, and screenings today often feature live orchestral performances that add to the atmosphere of the film. Legacy and cultural impact. Nosferatu is widely considered the first true vampire film, setting the stage for all subsequent vampire-related media. The film introduced several iconic elements of vampire lore, including the vampire's fear of sunlight, the hypnotic control over his victims, and the grotesque, monstrous appearance of the vampire. Count Orlok's appearance in particular, with his skeletal face, long nails, and bald head, created an image of the vampire that still. Ghostlight is a horror thriller film directed by Gregory Plotkin and produced by Cynthia J.D. Cooper. It was released in 2023 and has gained attention for its eerie atmosphere and engaging plot. The movie is set in an abandoned and performances, although some critics have noted that the pacing could be more consistent.